journey now and how I got here. Obviously, we've spoken about me being at uni beforehand. I worked in the travel industry for a little while, for a couple of years, and then it was a retail environment, a sales environment, which was great. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't what I felt like was my purpose. It was just something that I was fulfilling. It was work. I made a few good friends. It was great. And then I wanted to do massage therapy to some degree, but I just didn't know how I would get there. I didn't have a science background in education. And so I looked into it and realized I could do a part-time course. So I went to do an iTech diploma at college. And I realized that that would still hold some weight and make me a qualified therapist. And so I did an iTech diploma in holistic therapy, anatomy and physiology. And it was really interesting because I didn't think that I liked science. And then I started learning all about the human body, and it was fascinating. I had to learn, just to give you a little bit of insight into how much is involved, because I think when I tell people I'm a massage therapist, they think I just learn how to do a little bit of kneading, a little bit of hacking, and that's it. I have to, not just massage therapists have to have a foundation in anatomy and physiology, and that involves learning about every single bodily system. Okay, so your digestive system, your respiratory system, your endocrine system, your urinary, reproductive, la 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 la. Then you have to learn all of the bone names, all of the muscle names and the muscle groups, and the way that they insert and attach, their origin and attachment, insertion point. Wow. Okay. So it's really involved. It's not just a case of learning a few movements, right?
Wow.
But I enjoyed learning all of that. Then you have an exam at the end of it, and you have to pass that anatomy and physiology exam. You have a practical exam. So an examiner, is watching you for an hour, watching you how you massage. Not just how you massage a client, how you present your client, the client care as well, the consultation that you do, the way that you drape your client, making sure that everything is professional. There's a very strict procedure that you have to follow. There's very high standards that you have to follow when you're a massage therapist. So that, I want to highlight that because some people, especially when we were talking about the stigma attached, it's not just the case of come into my room, get naked, lie on the bed, let me oil you up. It's not. I would do thorough consultation. It's holistic therapy, which means I have to consult with my clients, and I have to look at things like their medical history. I have to look at things like any contraindications that they have that might mean they can't have a massage. I have to look at localized contraindications. They might have a skin allergy that I need to consider. There's a lot of considerations that you have to take. They might be on medication, which means they need to get consent from the doctor before I can even touch them. I need to know about I need to know about diseases and disorders so that I can address those clients when I see them, so that I can highlight them to clients as well. I know that I'm going into this in detail, but
I'm learning something. I'm sure everybody else who's watching, everybody else who's watching will learn, because when you're in it, you don't see it. You think, oh, it's obvious, but it's not obvious. What's obvious to you is a new learning to somebody else. But I also like what you said about the self-care. That's the other point, is that the stigma we know that's associated with massage, but also the other thing is that's seen as a self-care rather than is an elite thing. Yes, do you put a bread on the table, or do you go for massage? It's one thing. That's a leisurely. But now that you're talking about, there's a whole self-care and supplement medication or medical to it. It just opened my eye for sure. Because I'm thinking, I can't afford, or I can afford, but do I want to, you know what I mean? So that element is something else that I'm learning, and I'm sure whoever else is watching would be like, I never looked at it as a self-care. I looked at it as a, not spoiling myself, because that's what you hear. I went for a weekend massage for the week, but it's as a spoiling yourself rather than self-care. But anyway,
you know what, people are so quick to I'm gonna say this lightly because I've literally done this today. I have a car, my car, I rely on my car because if I didn't have my car, I couldn't get to my clients. If I didn't have my car, I couldn't take my kids to school, etc., etc. I need my car as much as I need my body. If I didn't have my body, it's my vehicle, right?
Yeah.
People will service their car once a year because it needs to be done. They would take it for an MOT. They would take it for a car wash. They will take it to get the tires checked and take it to Halfords to buy new air fresheners and all of that. And they don't question it. It doesn't matter about the cost. They don't question it. But this is your vehicle. This is our vehicle.
Funny. It's so funny. I'm sorry to cut you. And what I'm loving about this conversation, I've said, sorry to cut you. And I said, oh, yes, it is my platform, but it's your content. For the longest I've known you, and I never once discussed this so deep, but not realizing how much we correlate in what you're doing and what I'm doing and where we started from. You know why?
Yeah.
Because when you said that, because I deal with emotional well-being, and a lot of people think of it, well, it's not just costly, it's rich people's problem that they need to see a therapy. Or you've gone so extreme into mental health, or something is wrong with you. If you have to see a therapist, if you have to go to a coach, and well, if he's a coach, then he's not a therapist. Why am I paying for it? I can speak to my uncle or my auntie or my friend. But having that conversation was one. But when you said about you can get family, you know, when we're talking about the cancer, families not knowing how to do it right, or they being too care and connected to you that they wouldn't even take the risk. So what I just now realized for me, and the correlation between what you do and what I do, is the same thing, that emotional well-being, you've got to take care of yourself before you need the therapy or before you need the mental health treatment, because anxiety and depression are red flag. And we all have them. I've got my own anxieties. I've got my own depression at the moment. But if it's so frequent, or if it goes unmonitored, you will end up at that chair with a therapist or with the mental health specialist. You know what I mean?
And so that's not a bad thing. No, that's not a bad thing either. You know, collectively, our therapies are necessary. I need a massage therapist. I need a talking therapist. You know, as well. I need counseling.
Same. I have a mentor and a coach. Seriously, side by side, because they're both two different things. So it's like, if you're caring for somebody, who cares for the carer? You know.
Exactly.
So I keep interrupting your flow of telling your story, but I'm just having aha moments of my own by listening to your story and how it relates to mine.
No, most definitely.
I thought I knew everything about you.
I thought I knew everything about me.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
So where was I? It's talking about
taking care of, not people taking care of their cars and not doing the same because you need your body.
So it's maintenance of this, our vehicle. And, you know, I'm just going to take feet, for example, right? Because I practice reflexology. I'm passionate about reflexology as well. It's a completely different therapy. I think if I'm going to go into what reflexology is, this is going to take a whole nother video. So I'll happily come back as another guest and just talk about reflexology for a whole video. Okay. But feet and hands, let's talk about feet and hands, right? Just in this video alone, I've used my hands in a multitude of ways just to express myself. But that's just expression, okay? I use my hands. We all use our hands for every single thing. We walk on our feet to get us from A to B every single moment of our life, right? And people don't take a second or a moment to think, in general, I'm not talking about everyone here, I'm just generalizing. People don't think, actually, I better look after my feet, because if my feet aren't maintained, then what it feels like people only go for a massage or go for therapy when something goes wrong, when they feel pain. By the time you feel pain, your body is already sending you an alarm bell. Okay. By the time you hit rock bottom and you're depressed, that's an alarm bell. So maintenance is essential. It is important. And we're all creatures of habit. We all fall into the same traps. We all fall into the same trap of living life and just getting into routine. But, you know, massage needs to become an essential part, I think, for people when they can. And I'd love to be in that position where one day I'm able to offer this therapy for free. That is one of my goals. My future goal is to be self-sufficient enough to be able to offer this treatment to people who can't afford it, because it is really important.
Giving back.
I'd love to do that one day. You know, and I do on occasion I will go and do events. Like I said, I did events at Christmas fairs and local schools where I give free hand massages. And I know it sounds like a hand massage. What is that going to be? But a hand massage, you know, for 10 minutes can address every single part of your body just through the reflexes. And evidence of this, when I've been to places where I've done a hand massage for 10 minutes and people have fallen asleep, people have cried, people have divulged, you know, and said how great they feel afterwards. People have said how it's purged emotions in them that they didn't know were there. People have come to me and said it's accelerating my digestion, you know, and I didn't know that was possible. And so it's really rewarding as a massage therapist. And I'll just quickly touch on people out there who do consider massage therapy as a career choice, as a profession. Please do follow that if that's your dream, if you are passionate about it, okay? Because being a massage therapist, for me, the reward I get from being able to offer relaxation to someone, that's something that money can't buy.
Absolutely.
You know, people fall asleep on my massage bed, and I've created that, and it's a beautiful thing. And the only other person I can get that a reward from is my children. And so being able to offer that to a client who's desperately in need of just some peace and quiet is an incredible feeling. People who I've, you know, another point as well is people are, in general, we know what's going on in our bodies, but in a lot of people, we don't see our back, for instance, okay? We don't see the back of our legs or the bottom of our feet, or we don't take that care and attention. But a therapist will look at every single muscle and every single part of your body and can highlight things. So a good example is one of my long-standing clients. I saw him on one of the treatments, and I was giving him a massage on his stomach. So abdominal massage is a huge part of my treatment, by the way, because it is essential. Anyway, so I was doing an abdominal massage, and I said to him, Mr. Joe Blogs, did you know you have a few lumps? Are they painful? Have you seen this? Has it been addressed? He said, no, I haven't. I didn't realize this. I said, okay, well, you know, just for peace of mind, it might be a good chance for you to go and get it checked. It's probably nothing. I don't mean to cause alarm. I'm not there to diagnose, because I'm not a doctor. Of course,
that's not your,
But my job is to signpost and highlight this. So please just go and check. So he came back after a couple of months, actually. I saw him and he said, did you know that if you hadn't told me about that time, I would have ignored the pain, because a couple of days later, I did have a pain in my stomach. I went to the doctor and he said, I've got diverticulitis. Do you know what that is? I said, yes, I know what diverticulitis is. And I'm sorry that you went through that. He said, no, because if the diverticulitis,
I was just going to say, what is it?
So we need to learn about diseases and disorders as well. So if I hadn't known what that was, I don't know everything. I'm not an encyclopedia. If I didn't know what the disorder was, by all means, that's an opportunity for me to go and research and continue my professional development and my knowledge, right? But I knew what it was. And so.
And what is it?
You know, so in the intestinal walls, you have little polyps or little lumps that grow, diverticuli, and they can inflame sometimes. And if they inflame, get infected, it can cause real issues with your stomach. It's really painful, actually. So they need to cut them out.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it can be really painful. But had I not pointed that out for him, he might not have taken the next step to go and get checked. Yeah. So that was a nice feeling. You know, it's nice to be able to be that person.
Okay.
To highlight things for people.
So how did we? So how did we get to this? How did we get to where you are now? I know you and I have dived, but I love this story. Don't change it. So
I did digress.
From uni, no, I love it. I loved it. So it's your story. So however you tell it, the point is not for it to be that structured or that animated. If that's how you feel, it's called authentic conversation. That's how you authentically feel. Then yeah, but I wanted to know what was your journey getting to the qualification. specifically?
Sure. So
what were the milestones and the setbacks? If you could share some of those with us.
Sure, definitely. So I, as I said, I did my qualification. I had an opportunity to go and work on a cruise ship doing massage. And of course, I jumped at that opportunity because I was 23, young and free. And, you know, the world was my oyster, no pun intended. So I jumped in the sea and I went to go and find that oyster. It was the scene was set in Hawaii. The ship was in Hawaii. A 10-day cruise around the Hawaiian Islands was amazing. It was an amazing experience, but really, really hard work. So yeah, I worked on the cruise ship for 4 months straight, doing just massage in a spa, back-to-back clients for 7-hour shifts a day. Really took its toll on my wrists, and so I damaged this wrist. In fact, I couldn't. I had a repetitive strain injury, so I couldn't work. I couldn't do massage anymore. So when I came back to London, I thought, what can I do next? I went to work in a school because I thought teaching would be my next step. You know, I think I enjoy education, to be honest. So I wanted to be in that educational setting, and I thought teaching would be a good path. I ended up not doing my teaching qualification as such. I went down a different route. Another opportunity came up, and so I got to work within the IT department as an assistive technology specialist. So that was a great opportunity. It helped that I had a background, you know, from uni, and I was quite aware and quite IT literate at that point. So that was great to be able to just step right in there.
We're not talking about that. We'll talk about that offline. I knew you were going to go there now for the www dot.
So
just for the record. Okay, Nicky explained what www dot was to me at uni, but we're not going there. We're not going to go there.
The World Wide Web was my oyster. And so anyway, IT became a thing for me. And I didn't realize that I liked IT, and that opened up my world. I worked with children who had learning disabilities and or physical disabilities, physical needs that limited their ability to access learning, or, you know, visual needs, auditory needs, a whole host of different conditions that I came across, which was great. So I worked with the children who needed access to the curriculum through the means of IT. So things like communication aids to help them speak, things like a device that Stephen Hawking used with the switch to be able to speak. And so all of these things.
Amazing guy.
Oh, incredible. Yeah. Incredible. But you know, that device that he used with the head switch were the things that I used to provide for these children. And, you know, on a real like high tech scale, children who were paraplegic, who couldn't use anything, any part of their body, not even their head for movement, would use their eyes. So there's this thing called eye gaze technology, which I'm sure, you know, 10 years down the line now, it's probably even more
advanced
now in technology. But yeah, so at the time when I worked, there was eye gaze technology whereby children could use just their eyes as a mouse around the screen, which allowed them to navigate the whole computer screen, normal Windows laptop, to be able to do their work. And these were highly intelligent, some of them highly intelligent children.
Absolutely.
Who really touched my heart, actually, because locked inside a body that just wasn't functioning in a way that but they were locked in there. Their consciousness is locked in there. But, you know,
and
to be able to be that person,
and the level of creativity they have, it's amazing. I've been first-hand witness to that. Sorry,
No, that's okay. And to be able to be that person, to give them that opportunity to unlock themselves was, you know, completely blew my mind. It was a great opportunity. So, you know, I had that experience, and it was definitely a positive one for me. However, massage was still there in the background a lot. I was very grateful to be able to work in that environment. I had my 2 babies there, so it allowed me to, you know, have that strong foundation as well, where I could take my maternity leave. And, you know, it was nice to be able to work in a secure environment. but massage always came back into it. So when I was working in the school, in fact, obviously I never stopped talking about massage, as you can imagine. And it's a thing at the school as well. I provided meditation and well-being days for the staff there. I ended up doing relaxation sessions for the children every day during their lunch break. So massage was always there, and eventually I thought, you know what, I need to do something about this. It needs to be purposeful. So I gave up work without a plan. I just left. 12 years of working in a school, and I left without clients, without a plan, but I knew that I would make it work. I'm not a millionaire. I don't have, expensive cars on my drive, and I live in a mansion. However, the value, as I said, that massage gives me is, you can't put money on it. It's priceless. So
it's that calling, right? It's that moment that you have that calling. So everything else in your life makes sense. And I think the level of anxiety that you have when you are doing something that you really don't want to do, but you have to do, is different to when you doing something that you're meant to do. Definitely. It doesn't mean that the world trouble goes away. It just means the weight of it is reduced. That's what I've learned in my journey, and that's what I'm hearing from you. Because I was working full time, doing what I loved to do at the time, but when the time came for me to just feeling unfulfilled, it was hard. Now that I am on my own, the world problems or whatever I was dealing with, not whatever, why I was working to live the lifestyle that I lived hasn't changed. But the weight of how I live that lifestyle has changed, because now I live equally happy, but with sense of peace. And what I do becomes not effortless, but I don't see, I think you said something at the beginning, which was when you do what you love, the work doesn't become harder, or it's not hard. Something, paraphrase it. But you could correct me, because I'm very good at quoting people. I'm very good at misquoting them as well. So
you'll never work a day in your life if you enjoy what you do. And I think I might have misquoted the quote as well.
Well, we both on the same boat on that one then.
Makes sense. We're both on the same quote. So anyway, where did I get to? I left my work to pursue my own business in massage therapy. So initially, well, of course, it was difficult. Trying to get clients was difficult, and it felt scary at times, because there was a point when I wanted this to work so badly that there was it's interesting what you said actually about doing things for money, but I'll just quickly touch on that. So there were points when I questioned this, because I thought I was getting so stressed about not having clients consistently every month, not being able to make enough money to pay my bills, right? That I felt like I was chasing clients, and then it took the passion out of it a little bit, because clients meant money, and I didn't want my clients to mean money to me, because I still wanted that purpose and that passion. And when I didn't get a client, or if they cancelled, suddenly it was like, I'm not going to get paid, and I didn't want to chase that for the money purpose. And so what I did was I had to make a decision, and I thought, you know what, either I scrap this whole thing and go and get a full-time job somewhere else that's going to fulfill my financial needs, or I try and supplement this somehow. And so I wanted to take that stress off massage, because that was my passion. I needed to find something that was my bread. And so I got a part-time job. I got a part-time job in mother care, and I love retail anyway. I've worked in retail all my life, and it's a great environment. The buzz of it's nice. So I did get a part-time job, which gave me that consistent income, but it was part-time, which still allowed me to keep my clients outside of that. And luckily it worked really well. And in fact, mother care was another platform for me, because it allowed me, well, they knew that I worked as a massage therapist, and they gave me the opportunity. In fact, it was for them, but they gave me the opportunity to do VIP events for customers where I was demonstrating massage, pregnancy massage and baby massage, which, as you know, in Mothercare was a great asset to them. It was a great asset for me because Mothercare was local to me, which brought in local clients for me. And a great platform for them to do something different as a store that no other Mothercare store was able to offer. So
yeah, something different. Yeah,
it was very different. Yeah. So you know, you sometimes you think, oh, I've just got a part-time job somewhere just to make things work, but you don't realize what opportunities arise from certain things. I was very lucky to get a job there because my friend worked there, so I didn't even need an interview. I literally just stepped into the uniform.
But you kept the job. I just want to be clear about that, not just with you, with everybody. I have referred people, people have referred me, and everywhere I've been, I was going to say around the world, but not around the world, but I've lived abroad for some time, and I've met a lot of international people, and especially living in a country like I did, where the expat is a lot more, the percentage of expat is a lot more higher than the indigenous or the local people. You meet different international group of people, and you're like, oh, I got this job. Oh, he or she referred me. The referral is one thing. Sustaining the job is up to the individual.
Most definitely.
So the credit is given. So I think the word is the person is being a vessel. And this is just, I had that moment because I've been having a conversation with different people, and they're like, if I didn't have that person, they gave me the job. Yes, they gave you the platform, but you got the job based on your merit, but you also kept the job based on your merit, you know?
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to bring that out.
We sometimes discredit ourselves, and you're right. You know, I did get offered that position through a friend, but like I said, I became a great asset to them through my massage stuff. So that was good for me. So that was Mothercare. Obviously Mothercare went downhill, bless them, before the pandemic kicked in. Mothercare was no longer there. I did try and get another part-time job. The pandemic itself, as for many of us, was a big hindrance to me. It affected my business. I had a thriving clientele. Suddenly I wasn't able to touch people.
Of course.
A little bit difficult as a massage therapist because I couldn't offer anything remotely. A lot of people were working from home or had that opportunity to do Zoom calls and whatever. I couldn't really. I did get a little bit creative. So a lot of my clients, just to stay in touch with my clients, I offered free Zoom meditation sessions. And that was nice for me to do because it kept me going, my, maintenance of my well-being, but also maintaining their well-being and keeping in touch with people as well. So I did a few free Zoom meditation events there. And now I'm going to touch on this quickly, and I haven't really talked about my teaching, but
yeah, please.
Yeah, I also was able to work at the college teaching over Zoom before they open up college again. So that was good. Eventually, now, everything is, I hate to use the word coming back to normal because this is the new normal.
It's a new normal.
It's the new normal.
Yeah.
So, things are settling down or becoming more abundant. So everything is coming back to normal. Unfortunately, and I'm sure this has affected a lot of people, unfortunately, I did lose physically a few of my elderly clients during the pandemic. So just feel very grateful to have been in their lives when I could.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that was a blessing for me. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but these things happen, and we just have to move on from it. And teaching. I wanted to touch on teaching. So I know.
I was just going to say, that we focus on how did we get into the lecturing? Because that is something that was very new to me. That you had it added onto your CV. So how that came about?
So as I said, when I did my my diploma in massage therapy, the tutor really inspired me. She was a lovely lady, and I wish I could remember her name. It's terrible, but she was such an inspirational woman. The delivery, the level of teaching that she delivered was motivating for me enough to make me think, when I get to 40, I want to teach massage therapy, and that was my goal. I don't know why 40, but it just feels like an adult age. I don't feel like an adult. 41 now. I think now I'm like, when I get to 50, then I'll be a real adult.
Right.
I'm going to push that goalpost further and further, to be honest. But yeah, so I had that in my mind, and I think sometimes when you set goals like that, you don't ever think that you're going to be able to achieve them. But lo and behold, I did. I got to. I was in the middle of setting my business up, actually, and I thought, you know what, I do still want to do that teaching thing, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to have to go back to uni, and it's going to be really difficult for me. But I looked into it, and actually it was easier than I thought. The fact that I worked in a school was really helpful for me, because you have to have a certain number of hours.
How long were you at the school for?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah, so you have to have a certain number of hours to be able to teach in adult education. I already had that, which was fantastic for me. So I approached one of the colleges where I gratefully I work now. So the London School of Massage, you know, if anyone wants to learn massage therapy, by the way, they're a fantastic school. They can fast track you, and they do a whole host of other courses as well. They're based in Caledonian Road, and they've got a campus in Harrow as well. So a little plug there for London School of Massage, because without them, the opportunity for me to teach, I'm sure I would have, you know, found my way, but it is a great platform.
Amazing.
So London School of Massage employed me, and I got a qualification in it's called the Award in Education and Training. It's an AET. It used to be known as PETALS or PTTLS. It's a bit like you know, you can do TEFL as well. That's a kind of sister course for it, where you teach English as a foreign language, that kind of thing. But this is an award in education and training. So it allows you to teach adults in an educational setting within your remit, within your professionalism.
Your area of profession, yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I've learned that. I didn't know. But then I've been out of touch for a while. So yeah.
No, so it's great. I mean, I was able to do that remotely, and the time, there isn't a time frame. You just do it in the time that you have. I completed that qualification, I think, in about a year, just because I had to work around my kids and my business. I could have done it quicker, could have taken more time. It was what it was. I've got the qualification. I'm now going on to do an assessor's qualification from that, so I can assess as well as teach.
Train the trainer, or assess the person who's delivering it? Assess the person who's delivering.
Right. So you have an internal assessor, then you have an external, an IQA, so qualified. You have an external verifier as well. So I'd be doing the assessment side of it as well. So hopefully that's going to be my next notch on my belt. Yeah, so teaching was fabulous, because I was then able to teach within my specialism, which was pregnancy massage and baby massage. I then went on to gain a qualification in reflexology, and so I now teach reflexology as well. In addition to that, I teach scar tissue therapy as well, which again, I'd need another video to tell you all about what that is, but please look it up if you're interested. Yeah, so I teach reflexology, pregnancy massage, baby massage, and scar tissue therapy. I've now gained a qualification in oncology massage, which is massage for patients who have either had cancer or are going through cancer treatment. And I feel very, very blessed to have been on that course, because it's I've learned so much. I was very oblivious to what cancer was. People are really scared of, I know I am still scared of cancer, of course, but I was scared about the fact that I didn't know much about it. And I've had, you know, all of us have had people in our lives who have suffered from cancer, or another illness or a disease which, you know, has paused their lives, but you don't really understand it until you go through it. And so I've learned a lot with this.
Until you've lost somebody you know well enough to have been impacted by it. It's one of those things you don't know until it happens to you. I think about now, just over a week ago, we've lost a good friend of ours within
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and she was a good soul and a good person, and just having to live through that. But so I know, I think out of all my family and friends that I know, she was the closest person I know that has suffered with that disease or has died of cancer. It's horrible. It was
Yeah,
hard.
it is. Well, I think we touched on this earlier when I spoke about just being, present for somebody. Is really important.
Absolutely.
It's really nice to be able to be that person. As I said, we've spoken about the cancer massage, so I'm not going to go into it too much.
And we
But
spoke
yeah,
about
so
passion and purpose. Yeah, compassion and commercial. And earlier on, when you said something, I wanted to say, oh yeah, profit, because I like all abbreviation, right? So I was like, profit, purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I get you. I know what you mean. Each time you speak, I see the correlation as to what you do, and I'm loving to hear that because this is it's very important that we tell our story. This is really
definitely,
because I don't think you and I would have ever sat down and had this conversation.
No.
Until this platform, because that's what it's there for. But yeah.
I agree. Yeah, no, it's been really great, but that is my journey in effect, and I don't want it to end here. I enjoy learning more, and I am a geek. I am academic to my core.
Yeah.
Even though I might not have employed it in my earlier years, I definitely have embraced it now. I love learning. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Every day is a school day is my motto.
Amazing. I like that.
Every day is a school day. You always learn something new every day.
I like that. And all this while you being a mother. So let's just drop that in.
While I've been a mother, yeah, I mean, my kids are, my be all and end all. I wouldn't have them any other way. I am a single mother, and of course life doesn't turn out the way you plan it 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's okay too. I mean, I want to be the best role model for my kids. That's important for me. I want them to be proud of their mum. I'm proud of my mum, and your mum is somebody who's never going to be replaced by anyone, no matter how hard they try, right? You can have mother figures, you can have father figures, you can have very important people in your life. Of course, they are amazing people, but you can't replace your mother. And if I can't be the best role model for these two girls, somebody else is going to try and take that place. And
and what's the age group?
That came a little bit wrong. So my girls are 11 and 7. Amber's just started high school, so she's on her own journey, and then little Millie is 7. She's just started junior school. Yeah, they're good girls. I can't fault them.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And I know you well enough, but I also know that in the conversation, you not downplayed it, but you speaking after all the setback and the disappointment, because you're no longer in that space of pain. Because if I was to ask you 5 years ago, 3 years ago, or even a year and a half ago, how you got here, your conversation would be different. And I just want to highlight that it's not as easy, but you have put the work in it. And this is now been, how many years you've been in this business now?
I'd say 2003 was when I qualified as a therapist. And so, yeah, coming up to 20 years.
So the setbacks now that you might have not I don't think you've downplayed, because you've gone through it all. Even talking about it now, it's just like, yeah, I've done this, but I just wanted to bring in that each setback has prepared you. Because if you think about your mother care preparing you, think about how the school prepared you, and now how you're being prepared for your to get your certification to be the assessor. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm super proud of you. Super proud.
Oh, thank you so much. You know what, I think it feels I haven't done this kind of thing before, so sorry if I've digressed a little bit.
What's the kind of thing?
But it's really nice that it feels empowering for me to be able to talk about this, because I haven't done it before. And
what's this kind of thing? Name it.
It's an achievement, and it feels good to be able to share that achievement, to talk about achievement, because we don't talk about our own achievements, or we know that they're there. I don't think I've even talked about all of my achievements. I mean, I've qualified as a beauty therapist in lockdown, by the way, so that was I didn't even go into that.
Just drop that in. Just drop that in.
There, yeah. I've done that. But you don't congratulate yourself enough, and I think you wait, or you look for validation from outside of you. But this has given me an opportunity to to kind of almost doing a video makes me feel it's like an out of body experience, because I feel like I'm listening to myself talk, and I want to congratulate myself.
Yeah.
You know, and it was nice to be able to do that, because this is how you get in touch with you, and
Absolutely.
people don't do that enough. It's important.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely. No, thank you.
Me.
No, I'm proud of you, and thank you for opening up, and thank you for being vulnerable, and thank you for sharing your story, because yes, you're right, because life takes over. Just the same way that you spoke about, or I even spoke about, people needing therapy until it's too late, or people not valuing their emotional and mental well-being enough just to do a spot check. It doesn't mean that you have to have a problem, but you need to be able to have an outlet to let go of some things, or to make peace of some things, or to make sense of some things, without having to speak to a family or friends that then are so connected to your content. That's one. Then in your case, being able to look at your body and not just nurture it with food and the hair and makeup in the woman's case, or in the men's case, the gym. But you've got to be able to look deep down and say, how is my body movement doing? It's the same thing that you need to apply now, and I need to apply and say, you know what, we've done a lot to get to where we are, but also because life takes over. And then you go to the next thing. You actually did so much that the beauty therapy thing, we laughed and joked about it. You just dropped it in like it was breakfast.
Do you know what? Can I just finish on one last thing? Have we got time to talk about one more thing?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We spoke about my children, right? And me being a role model. But again, I'm going to just drop one more thing in now, right?
Yeah.
So massage therapy has been important for me. As I've said, it's my passion, it's my work. I feel very lucky to be able to have those skills that I could transfer them to my children. Like I said, my dad inspired me, right? And I will never push or advocate something just because it's a passion of mine. I expect my children to have their own journeys and to fulfill their own creativity and passions, of course, in life. But I've had the opportunity to practice massage on them because it's important for babies, by the way. I can't highlight that or emphasize that enough. It's been great to be able to, you know, children go through growth spurts, and growing pains are a real thing.
Absolutely.
Very important to massage your children. So please, if anyone out there wants to learn about baby massage or infant massage or moving forward, you know, through milestones, I can help with that, definitely. But yeah, my children regularly will set up little spa days. So me and them, we have our own little spa day at home where I set my massage table up, and they will learn how to massage. I mean, they're using their intuition most of the time, but they pick up techniques from me. And it's really nice to be able to see those skills. You know, they're picking them up and they're using it, and they're building a passion for massage in their own way, which is lovely. I really feel proud of them as well. So that's really nice. My daughter in the background is saying, can I please show my massage skills off? I don't know how, what she wants to do, but we will leave that for another time.
No, we can do something like that for sure. But I think we will wrap up on this.
That's fine,
And I really want to thank you for taking the time. And before we do, we've got to do the important part. Now that you've shared everything about you with me and with the world, how do we get in touch with you? And
of course.
Who are you looking to reach out to as well? Because even though you say get in touch with me, everybody, you've got to be able to be not be selective, but speak to who you speaking to and who you can support and be of service to. Because that wide open means everybody. Who is everybody in your eye? Who are the people that
most definitely. I mean, a lot of I did initially start by advertising on social media. It didn't work out the best for me because, as you said, I don't want to leave myself wide open to. There's a lot of stigma. We spoke about that, right?
Exactly.
I want to reach out to people who are serious about well-being, about learning about how they can help themselves with massage therapy or other therapies that I offer. It's not just massage. I do reflexology. I am a pregnancy and baby massage specialist. So anyone out there who wants a pregnancy and or postnatal massage, I can help with, women's health and well-being as well. But But anyone who wants to learn about massage therapy or learn about how to become a therapist, please. I had a recent message from someone, I don't know how he got in touch with me, but through Messenger, somebody in a different country who wanted to learn about how they could do massage therapy and become a therapist. So I felt really humbled by that. I don't know how he reached out to me, as I said, but I'm happy to help and share information with people. I do have a Facebook page. Even though I had an IT background, I'm not the most socially active person on social media. As I said, a lot of my recommendations come through word of mouth, and I'm happy for that because it means that I've got a connection with my new clients, and it just feels a little bit more secure for me. But if people want to get in touch, my business name is Clarity Wellness Therapy. I know it's a bit of a mouthful.
It's fine. I'll put that at the end of the video. I'll embed it onto the video. Yeah, that's fine.
Excellent. So I have a Facebook page where you can connect with me through that. A lot of information on there. There's a few reviews if you're interested. Other than that, the London School of Massage, again, are a really good place where you can come and join one of my courses if you like and come and learn. Yeah, for sure. It'd be really nice. But if anyone does connect with me through this video, then please do let me know where, this is how you found me, so then I can thank Kadil for this opportunity as well. But yeah, no, it's been, thank you so much.
No, you're most welcome, and thank you again for telling your story and for opening up. And I'm looking forward to doing more of this with you, but more specific on different topic and different types of the massaging therapy, different types of massaging therapy. We can dive deep into specifics. I'm trying to get my words right, but no, I've learned quite a lot, and thank you. And I think the stigma was a big thing, but what I also learned, or my takeaways for me, what I also learned is the importance of this being a well-being, and it's not just a luxury thing or something that, I spoiled myself, but really doing the the physical check without having to think of it as like, it's a luxury or that you're spoiling yourself, that this is a must. And when it really resonated with me is we use laptop, we use mobile phone so often. So when you said about repetitive pains that you get, you really do underestimate that. And what I also learned is, my friend is now a lecturer, and I know if any of our lecturers at uni could see this, they will register to your session and to your classes and give you a dose.
That Hell's Angel, Robert Maitland, he called me a Hell's Angel. Remember, I'm now one of you.
I know. And the thing is, you had BBM before everybody, you had WhatsApp before everybody, but that's another story. But and really, more importantly, how your passion and your purpose is aligned to your personality as well, and your calling, and it will be profitable as you want it to be, and how much of your profession really aligns with my profession, because it's all about self-worth, self-value, and self-care, because the only person that you know for sure is you, and the only body that you have for sure is your body. So that it being number one to you before you can be important to somebody else is very, very, very important. And that was a big lesson for me.
You can't pour from an empty jug. There's another quote for you. Look.
There you go. And with that,
I read this somewhere.
I read this. There's so many hints. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for like some of our university friends to see this and they'll pick up on. But we're not going to dive into what all of those things mean. But anyway, Nicky, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. And I look forward to connecting with you again on this channel, but also offline. Looking forward. And to meet the kids in person.
Oh, most definitely. You'd be welcome. Thank you so much.
Take care.